The next one, need to break up with boss. I've been at my company for almost 5 years. I've had the same boss and our relationship is starting to wear me out. She leans on me very heavily, always tells me how great of a job I'm doing, which I appreciate, and puts me on just about every project. Even if someone needs help, she volunteers me and my team says I'm the favorite. So what's the problem? I'm starting to think there's some manipulation going on. About 2 years ago, I wanted to transfer to a different team. She told me I wasn't ready. Then another opportunity came up, and for that one, she said the leader was horrible. I've stuck with her as the team completely turned over twice, both times when I left and returned from maternity leave. I always come back to a huge mess. I'm talking about new people starting the day I return. Since I've been there, we've lost 13 people. Now I'm just tired of training, tired of the work, tired of being her favorite. I actually think, so most of my professional experience has actually been in the manager position. And so if I were to think about it from the manager's perspective to some extent, I would probably say that most managers, most decent, semi-decent managers will try to delegate as much as possible because delegation offers opportunities for growth and development for the people who are working under them. And so it's not the delegation per se that is the problem. I actually think the problem is this part when she says she wanted to transfer to a different team and she told me I wasn't ready. Now, that sounds to me like a boss who's holding you back for her own gain because she doesn't want to deal with the mess of losing you, especially if she's volunteering you for everything. And this part where she says our relationship is starting to wear me out because she volunteers me for everything and the team says that she's a favorite, that sounds a bit dodgy. If there's really very, very clear favoritism like this and your colleagues are commenting on it and you're burning out as a result of the amount of work that she's giving you, then I would probably say there's something really unhealthy going on here. I don't know if she's just trying to dump a whole bunch of work on OP and that's causing the dynamic to kind of fail, basically work that she doesn't want to do herself, or if she just thinks that she's such an amazing worker, she doesn't realize how it's coming across, or if it really is malicious and intentional, I don't know. But if I were OP, I would probably either have a conversation with her and say, hey, I don't understand why this is happening. If it's been years, and she says she's been at the company for 5 years now, it's a long time. She already wanted to move on 2 years ago. I would honestly probably just look for a different job and move on with my life. And it probably sucks for the company to be fair, but this is one of the things that companies need to learn, which is that if you have bosses in positions and they're manipulative and they exploit the people that are working under them, then you're going to end up losing a lot of workers, and that's just part of life. Now, some of the comments here, I had a very similar situation at my previous job. I was working with that company for 5 years, and initially my boss was very attentive and hardworking. Then over time, she gradually got worse. The year before I left, I was essentially doing her job as well as mine with zero pay increase. She had a health scare, so I didn't mind helping out, but once she was cleared, she still stopped showing up and continued to rely heavily on me. At one point, I did go to our superior, but nothing was done. I finally realized I was not being valued and was overworked and underpaid. I ended up finding a much healthier work environment with a significant pay increase, so I quit my job. It's no surprise my boss quit a month after I left due to the amount of responsibility she had to take on with me leaving. I recently spoke with an ex-worker from that company, and she said once I left, it was very obvious how much I was doing. I would suggest looking for a new job because I can't tell you how freeing it is to be with a company that values me and does not overwork me. The work-life balance is amazing and I'm happy at my job now. Good luck. And OP says, oh yes, I'm looking now. I'm hoping to find the same as you. This department has literally lost 14 people since I've been there. It seems to be constant chaos and I'm just over it. And this is really the fundamental thing about all jobs. I just don't understand why you would ever stay in a job for so long that not only do you get tired and exhausted and burnt out, but you're also underpaid, you don't feel valued or appreciated, you're just frustrated and annoyed at the job. Then, of course, I say this again from a position of privilege. I understand that sometimes you have dependents, you need the job, but I would always just be looking under 100% of circumstances, and I cannot imagine that you're looking for 2 years and can't find anything. So this is one of those cases where people will take from you as much as you let them take from you. And so the primary learning for OP is, you know what, the moment that you have the feeling or the impression that your boss is intentionally holding you back in your career, then that's a giant red flag for that boss and for that company, and you should look for a way to get out from under them, because otherwise they're holding you back, right? You will never be able to achieve your potential career-wise.